Welcome back to Leveraging Leadership, where we unpack the art of business leadership. I'm your host, Emily Sander, Chief of Staff turned Executive Leadership Coach. I work with people to help them step into effective leadership and realize their professional and personal goals. If you have known failure and success, if you have had good bosses and bad bosses, if you are a high achiever and want new ideas, and if you want the practical and tactical side of things, then you are in the right place. This show is all about finding your points of greatest influence and leveraging them to better serve those around you. Welcome back to Leveraging Leadership. The book for this book club episode is They Ask, You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. So They Ask, You Answer is about a marketing strategy and marketing tactics, but it's also a business philosophy. So I thought it would be interesting and cool to share with you because most chiefs of staff are directly or indirectly tied to marketing efforts for their company. And it's also just a good business philosophy to have internally in any conversations or any exchanges that you're having with people. So Marcus Sheridan was trying to sell swimming pools in his local area. And he was trying to figure out the best marketing strategy and specifically website content that would bring people in. And so he basically found that whoever answers the consumer's question the best and the quickest wins. So it makes intuitive sense. If people have questions and they get them answered in one specific place, they're going to be they're going to gravitate toward that company. So he says, become obsessed with what your consumer is asking, what they're scared about, what they're nervous about, what they're motivated by, their interests, their vision of when they have a pool in their yard, all of those types of things. And instead of looking at the business through the lens of I'm a business owner or I'm a business leader, look at it through the lens of the consumer. And he talks about making a concerted effort to brainstorm every single question a consumer could possibly have. So think about it from all different angles and perspectives and really take deep focus time to write out all the different questions that you can think of. Obviously, listen to prospects and listen to existing or past customers as well. One of the tactical and practical pieces you can employ would be go tell your sales team or go tell your customer service team to either BCC the marketing team or forward them an email when they are answering a question that a consumer has, or even if they're getting questions or a list of questions from consumers, just shoot that thing over to marketing. Marketing will then be able to incorporate that into their marketing messages. And I used this piece of the book when I was chief of staff and I actually ran the marketing department. I read this part of the book and immediately I was like, okay, sales team and customer service reps, at the next meeting I had with them, I said, hey, if you can forward or BCC me or shoot me a message on Slack, or even if you could just literally take a note and then bring it back to me at our next regular standing meeting, that would be fantastic. And they really liked it because we would implement that into our marketing in near real time after we heard it. And so they would see it and they would know that they were being listened to. So it helped on that front as well. Okay, so we're talking about consumers going to a website. And basically, one of the things Marcus says is if a customer goes to a website and they're navigating around and they're trying to find the answer to their question and they can't find it and they feel like the company is hiding something from them. So it might be, well, how much is this going to cost? Like just give me a range, give me a ballpark. And the company must know this, but I'm hunting for it and I can't find it. It makes them frustrated. It frustrates the consumer, which is what you don't want. And it makes them a little bit angry. It's like, you must have this. Just give it to me. Give me the answer that I want. So he even talks about these really cool strategies and tactics for turning negatives into positives. So an example he gave was they sold fiberglass pools. And fiberglass pools, the types they had were certain kinds and certain shapes and sizes. And so he said the question a lot of people would have was, would this problem come up? Or I've heard fiberglass pools are problematic in this way. And so he hit that head on. And he had blog posts that were literally like the problems with fiberglass pools or the top 5 issues with fiberglass pools. And in the video on the blog, he would say straight up, look, if you're looking for a pool of a certain length or width or depth, we might not have that, but we do have fiberglass pools in these sizes. And if you want a low maintenance pool that's going to last you a lifetime, then this might be a good choice for you. Another thing he mentioned was doing comparison pieces. So often people would have questions about, we hear a lot of questions about X versus Y. And so let me tell you about X versus Y. We only have X, but Y is a really good option for a lot of people. And we want to give you the best information that we have so you can make a really good informed decision. So they would write an honest piece about the pros and cons of X versus Y, knowing they only had pool X. And that one kind of goes to this notion of disarming your consumer. So a lot of consumers are like, all right, I'm going to go onto this website. I'm going to go into this call. I'm going to go into this negotiation, knowing that the company is going to try to make me buy something and try to push me into something. And a way to disarm them is to say, I want what's best for you. I want you to get the best pool for you. And if that happens to be one of our pools, great. If it happens to be from someone down the street, great. Like I have your best interest at heart. And when you do that, when you answer their questions and when you have that mentality, you disarm them. And they go, oh, okay, let me put my shields down a little bit. And now we can have just it's a regular conversation. And one of the examples he gives in the book is you think of a hostage situation, right? And the first thing you can do to diffuse that situation and to bring it down a notch is to put down your gun. So in the same way, it's, hey, I'm like, look, I want you to get the best pool possible. I want to answer your questions. My job isn't to sell you, it's to answer your questions. And further to that, if you want to become an elite communicator, it's sometimes putting that back on the consumer a little bit or giving them back the power, so to speak, when it might be something like, look, I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm hearing you talk about the price range you have. I'm hearing you talk about the quality of pool you want, and we might not be the best option for you. So let me just ask you, is this a good fit? Does it seem like a good fit for you? And so you're not asking them or you're not pushing them into something. You're putting it back on them and you are letting them make the decision, which ultimately it is. But a lot of companies and a lot of salespeople push them and maneuver them and manipulate them into certain things. So always saying, hey, let me just throw this back to you. What are you thinking is a good fit right now? All right. So he was also talking about this whole process of building content, right? So have the common questions right there on your website, have the pricing information on your website. He even had blog posts on the top pool providers in the area, which was Richmond for him. And he listed all of his competitors and he didn't list himself. Now, obviously, they were going to his page, but he was saying, hey, this company over here is the category leader for this. And this one is really good at this. And he would drive traffic that way. But basically building up this content, answering the questions that people would have from every single direction. And he would have video content and written content and all the rest and pictures and all these things. And basically, as most of us know, but good to remind people, your content doesn't sleep. Your content is online 24/7. So it's answering people's questions and selling them 24/7. So overall, if we zoom out and say, okay, it's a marketing strategy, but it's also a business philosophy. And the kind of in-between part of that, the marketing philosophy is have it be conversational marketing. So have it be like a normal conversation. Like, hey, if a friend was thinking about buying a pool, they would be talking to you about this and cost and what size they would need. If they wanted it outdoors, they have to kind of redo their deck and put it around here. Would that work? That type of stuff. Just have that marketing be a natural extension of that conversation. And remember that the name of the game is whoever makes it easiest to buy from them, whoever makes it easiest to get answers to their question wins. So, where can you employ this in your actual marketing strategy today? Where can you apply this to maybe just your interactions and your business philosophy with how you're showing up as a chief of staff internally today? And then maybe where can you also apply that to your overall business philosophy in your role as chief of staff, in your leadership team? Can your leadership team be a bit better about, okay, yep, let's be a little more transparent with those answers, or, oh, we always get kind of these similar questions whenever we do live Q&As in front of different offices and different teams. So let's incorporate that into our presentation right up front. Any of those types of things. So where they ask, you answer. Where can you apply that and incorporate that into your marketing or business philosophy and approach? All right, that's a wrap on this episode. Go forth, be good chiefs of staff, be great leaders, answer people's questions, and I will catch you next time on Leveraging Leadership.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, share, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.